What's going on? Excuse me. Hey, how are ya? It's light. Um, just kicking it. Um, I got a little story for you guys today. Oops, what the hell? Hold on. And it's cute. Title. I like it. Anyway, this little story here is excuse me. Is called The Hitman Falling in Love with the Mark. Catchy, ain't it? Um, Let me start off with this before I get into the story, okay? Let me make sure this. Okay, I'm on my Chromebook, so. Preface to the story, is it? I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, so before we get into the hitman falling in love with the mark, his mark, whatever. So I have written here. How do I want to say this or speak this really? Lower vibrational entities attach themselves to lower vibe peeps, right? So when we'll get into that in a minute. Peeps, I like that. Energy, and I have / information, can only be transferred, not destroyed, right? So remember I spoke before about God source and everything, and energy can never be destroyed, it can only be transferred, right? So people leave energetic imprints, attachments, spells, evil eyes. The way any of that stuff really works is through this, by sending it in a thought or speaking really sound, creation of all, right? God spoke and said, let there be light, to differentiate the dark or whatever, or separate the light from the dark. Okay, so I don't know. That's I'm not to speak on that. So the words will not come. Yeah, energy is like water in a sense. Energy has to flow. There's a flow to it, and it likes to continue to flow. With me, like if you don't ground, which is done with your feet or your root chakra, but we'll go with your feet, for instance, say like in earthing and stuff. So, what the hell is that? I guess I could plug in now. So energy likes to flow. Okay. Hang on a second, please. And, move all this stuff. Did it get real bright or something? Crazy. It seems real bright to me all of a sudden. It is sunny outside. Anyway, that means the sun came through because it's been raining. So energy likes to flow. So if you're not grounded, this happened to me. This is an actual story of mine. When I was taking this particular course, I was like cut off at the ankles, so all the energy that I was soaking in and taking in myself was staying in me, and it was horrible. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was just like an anxious, right? It was just too much for me to handle. And then Maya said, I'm cut off at the ankles, I need to ground, and that's when I first learned about grounding and what an empath was and all that stuff. Anyway, energy healing and everything. So energy does like to flow, right? So it's transferred. So it likes to keep a flow, if you will. That's what everything is. And in this energy, in this vibrational field, it carries information. This is how they show it to me. So yeah, energy has to flow. It likes to keep flowing. And then, all right, so now let's get into, say, spells or evil eyes, or when, you know, you'll all of a sudden feel happy. Maybe you'll think of a person or something, and then you'll find out that that person was thinking about you. You know, maybe you hear from them or whatever, but it's a good call, you know. Same will go with negative energy. If people are jealous of you or they're mad at you or whatever, they have all these thoughts, and they send out this thought I'm going to sit up. These thought vibrations, you know. And in these thought vibrations will be the same way. So what I'm getting at is like the it's because I plugged in it. I'll be able to do this still. So like attracts like. So like energy attracts like energy. So when you're lower vibrational, then these things can come in to you, right? Into your mind, right? Because that's well, that's how it works. So when you're happy, all these happy things happen, right? When you're in a state of joy and happiness. When you're in a state of aggravated, you can't find your keys, or you drop something or whatever, and if you stay in that and get mad and speak the words of, this always fucking happens, why is this fucking da da da, well, then you see more of that, right? I'm sure you've all experienced this in your life in one form or another. So let's speak in terms of light and dark, all right? So, you know, light, God, and we'll say dark, enemy, or whatever. So like energy attracts like energy. And this is how the enemy, the dark, right? The enemy will use our own minds against us because, you know, that's just what he does. I mean, it's simple. Plant a seed and let them do the rest. I mean, you see it in the world right now. Same way. Let's keep them occupied. All right, that's another story. Let's stay on this one. Let's get to the hitman falling in love with the mark. Anyway, so our minds, the enemy, our ego, our human, right? So the enemy, the dark, will use that tactic of our own mind, right? So when we're low vibrational, all I have to do is somebody sending a thought frequency, right? A frequency to you, which carries information, which your brain, your antennae pick up, because we're energy. So we pick it up, and the way our mind will decode this energy, this information, into thoughts. And then our thoughts, you know, we put a voice to it, and then hence becomes our reality, right? So this happens to us all the time, unbeknownst to us, right? So I'm getting to it. This is a preface for the Hitman. I'm telling you, I'm really pretty sure of it. Anyway, I'm gonna give choice to his causes. So you know, it's funny. I was just talking about this too. What does this have to do with the hitman falling in love? You know, the hitman, love, and the mark, right? I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Just play it. Well, I have a little story. Well, let's get into the story, and then I'll speak on it after that. So, there's this cute little story. About a woman and a man, okay? Like, this story was cute, so I had to write it down. Short version, probably. This woman is very special to God. She is meant for she's meant for great things. What? I can't even read my own writing. Are you serious? There are people, known or otherwise, that want to stop this woman from fulfilling her destiny. No, her prophecy of why she is here, born of this time, in this life, for a very specific reason. Since we live in this dualistic world of light and dark, we'll use that analogy for the rest of the story. So that's what I was saying earlier. But anyway, so this woman's life has been wrecked with hell, pain, suffering, torment, addiction, death, abuse in all its forms. But yet she still had love, and this is what I love about the story, because yet she still had love and kindness for her oppressors, for those that would try to keep her down. See, the enemy, the dark, already knew from the time of conception, from the time she was and then born into this world. We'll get into the story here. Into how the dark can use people to play out its agenda. But yet she still showed love and kindness. Now God's most beloved, with a very specific and important mission, if you will, to do, had to undergo all these afflictions to be able to accomplish this task. The dark, with permission from God, the dark, with permission from the Most High, has been given the okay to do what it can to throw her off her path, to turn her to the dark, to turn her to the dark side in which she dwelt. She was already in the dark, but we're trying to turn her to the dark, right? I'm going to do this in a blog because it's way better if you can. The way I was writing it, I'm just not good at the reading part of it. Like I said. Anyway, I'll do my best, okay? I will get better. I will be better from here on. Alright, so let's fast forward to the part of where we are now, where we find ourselves today. As part of the dark's agenda, in last hopes of throwing her off track, they send in the lethal weapon, the snake, the man. Here comes the hitman. He has entered the story. See, the only way to get her to implode, to self-destruct, is through her own mind, right? It's through her own trauma bonds that she's developed and been with for so long and grown so fond of, right? And using that against her, using her own mind against her through her trauma bonds of what they have put in her life, through people that she loved, and always through the people that she loved, friends, or anything she was closest to. The trauma bonds, using her own mind against her. The dark knows her weak, unawakened aspects. Okay, so they send that in, and it's easy because she's feeling low vibration, and those aspects were of love. What she really always wanted was someone to love her and show her love and kindness and compassion and caring and all that stuff, right? Companionship. Holy crap. Hold on, let me see. Alright, so then it must be on the back of this. Bear with me for a second. I just, why do I write in here like this? This is fucking stupid. These afflictions. Knows. Okay. All right. All right, so what am I getting at, right? She smirks. It's right there. It's so funny. All right. Tempted by the snake, so the story goes, right? Adam and Eve, snake. Just a different kind of snake anyway, you know what I mean? I guess it to be wise to mention that through all of the sexual abuse she endured through, she had mistaken sex for love. Well, you know what happens when you do that. That's not a thing, right? I mean, that's a lot of unhealthy relationships. So that just kind of sets lays down a little bit of a foundation of what they're getting at in this story, right? So how that turns out. Okay. So with that being said, right? So now you know this, right? So they send in this man. This woman's already hurt. So let's just go into the story of how over through the life. Now we're up to this part. The hitman enters into his Mark's life, right? So let's just say she's been in rock bottom, okay? Alone, no money, no car. Guy whom she loves deeply and unconditionally is playing his role perfectly well. His character part in her life at this moment. And he's doing a great job, by the way. I mean, this is when, when I say she was in rock bottom, she was in it. I mean, she was deep in it, down in a hole. Alice in Chains. So, they're like, oh man, she's getting ready. She's not going to be in our midst anymore. She's getting ready to go. I mean, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Now we won't have control. What are we going to do now? I mean, she's been here with us. Now she's getting ready to go out. Well, so then they send in the lethal weapon. What is that word? Secret weapon. Right? So here comes the hitman, tempted by the snake. So here comes the hitman to save the day. Or was supposed to save the day in her eyes, right? In her eyes, it's he's come to save the day. And in his part, right? He's the one who's supposed to report back how the progress is going, how she's doing. Reporting back to the higher ups, if you will, giving notice how her progress is. Reports back and keep it going. The attacks of what? guys, I'm not really sure how I wrote this down. I must have got confused. Oh, to keep it going, the attacks of the dark. Okay, I was so off on that. I said Hitman, hence the snake analogy. Different kind of snake, right? As the Hitman comes and gathers and spreads and leaves, right? Funny. He begins to see the mark, the woman, as something different than what he was told, possibly. You know, I mean, I'm sure they said, hey, this is the mark, you know, report, do this, you know, she's this or she's that, or, you know, whatever, I don't know, whatever they were saying to the Hitman. Whatever his thoughts would be. Well, his eyes, after you know, he's spending time with this mark, with this woman, and, you know, they're conversing and, you know, playing their roles, and he begins to see with his eyes and his heart this woman, the mark, right? Before it was the mark, then it became the woman. Now it's the woman, the mark, right? Unbeknownst to him, he is the pawn in the game. He's actually the target. The mark is really his karma, but in a way he never saw coming. He begins to fall in love with the woman, the mark, right? In a love that he's never seen or known before, so would be more of an opening up, an awakening, more, you know, in love of how all things are, seeing things that he had not probably experienced in his life either. There's a reason why it was this Hitman and this mark, right? So she was aware of his misdoings, but was obedient to God. She showed him what it was like to truly be loved and be in the presence of love itself. His karma and saving grace ended up being the one he was sent to destroy. Whether he knew how bad he was doing it or not, right? Because he's a pawn in this. So he doesn't know the whole story. He's being used by both sides. He just doesn't know it. Because he's in it. They can control his thoughts and his illusions and things he sees because of his vibration. Because he's at a vibration, he's doing something that allows the dark and the enemy in. (23:23). So she was light, he was more dark. Her faithfulness began to turn his dark into more light. She sparked that light in him, so that if he chooses, he can grow that light within him and break free. So, you know what this, I say cute little story because, you know, when I wrote it out, when I was writing it down, it sounded way better than I said it. I apologize for that. I might have to reshoot this video. Who knows? I'm just going to leave it because I don't have time for all that. But, and it says he doesn't get the girl. He doesn't get the girl. The knowledge gained is the prize. Never said it wasn't going to hurt. So, the purpose of this was All right here. So as far as the Hitman story, she learned through her obedience and hard work, her dedication to healing herself, to see only love, and to just be, which is love. Once she unlocked the door and allowed her light, her love, shine through, no matter the outside world, she became free of her bondage to her human self, her humanness, her ego. It was her love that saved them both. Now see, in the story, even though there was a knowingness of the misdoings, thank you, the misdoings of this connection, but she learned when she was in hell, her light grew in the dark, and it's her knowing and having faith and obedience in God, whom, if you looked at her life, she has nothing. Remember, it's her rock bottom. She has nothing at this point. And all things of the dark are against her. And that's what she's surrounded by. And there's a reason and a purpose. Her faithfulness and her obedience and her dedication to herself and what her path and journey is. And, you know, it's one of God's most beloved. She has a huge job to do and has accepted her in that. And she knew the things she was, excuse me, I'm going to get your drink water, she was saying and doing. She was saying to this individual, which was great talks they had, you know, they hung out pretty good together, you know, whatever it is, choices. But had she still been hadn't unlocked those doors and hadn't been open to love and hadn't learned to love herself and have faith in God, that she would have reacted a totally different way, and it would have went a completely different way, and everything would have been completely different, and nobody would have been saved in that aspect. He, you know, is going to receive his karma how he receives his karma. She learned to be obedient and open her heart and love, and found out that it's not that bad. The woman and the hitman. I like that, the woman and the hitman. So, as far as getting the girl who knows, who knows? I mean, the woman is alive. The woman is still on her path. The woman is living in her divineness, learning to be a human, what it's like to be human, what the human is about. Instead of always living as the human, trying to find the divineness, it's the other way around. It's been flipped. Hence the new paradigm shift, right? Hence the paradigm shift. Okay, so for so long I have chased for love, and I've chased and I've sought after, and I went after, and I was looking everywhere outside for love. Which everything is just love. Once you have that, everything else falls into place. for approval. But see, when you're doing that, that's when you have no love. Because when you're love and you come home to yourself, you realize these are human things. That's what it is to be a human. But to be divine in your I am presence, in yourself, your I am, then you know you are love. You are everything that is light. Everything that is light is love. Everything that is light is love. So, we only need to be open to the flow of abundance or whatever it is we want by allowing it to flow to us. Remember, I spoke in the very beginning about this energy likes to flow and how energy likes to flow through to us, right? It likes to flow through us. Hence, getting barefoot, getting outside, being in nature, letting the sun hit you. The sun, photosynthesis, our organ, our bodies were all made from stardust. The same elements in our bodies, the same as the Earth's crust, the sun. You get it? This is a human. This meat suit is your human. You're the I am divine presence, the energy that gives this human, this body, its mechanical way to move. You're the electricity to the body, to your human. So, when we go chasing after it, it runs away. Things we chase after get scared and it runs. Right? We aren't vibrationally matched to it because we're chasing it. That's a lower vibration. That's I gotta have it, it's not here, I don't have it, it's not here. Your wish is my command. You don't have it, it's not here, okay, it's not here. Then it's gonna always be out here. You're gonna have a carrot, or a bone or whatever they put on something, to get something to chase after, and you never can get you. It's always out of reach. It will always be out of reach. You're not a vibrational match. All right, so I guess I'm just supposed to speak on that. All right, so you're not a vibrational match to that. All right, so what do we do with this information? What am I saying exactly? What I'm saying is what every person speaks about, and that is 3311 when I said that, was we are everything already. It's already in us. Go within. The higher you get, the more light you are. This is why when you start vibrating higher and you're on a different vibrational energy field than other people, it doesn't mix. There's a reason for that. You don't want it to, in essence, because when you're more light and you're becoming like this, and they're still in their more human than they are their I am presence, the human, the ego, the humanness, the evil, the dark, we'll call it the dark against the light, right? We live in a duality world, right? Very dualistic. Everything's outside, everything's separate. But when you come home to yourself, you realize these things, and then you know the truth, and you're not vibrationally matched anymore. So the dark, the dark entities in the spiritual realm can then begin to drop seeds, right? They'll use the people that are easily controlled by them because they do it without them even knowing, especially people on drugs and alcohol. Sad, depressed people. Really easy that way, but they really like to use your own things against you. Your own fears are used against you in your dream state. But when you awaken from your slumber, from your sleep, these tactics can't be used. There's no way in, because you're the one who controls it in your own head. Your own mind. Mind over matter, right? I used to always say that, that's how I walk, that's how I sit, that's how I do anything. It's mind over matter. It don't matter, so I don't mind. I don't mind, so it don't matter. I'm going to walk. You say I can't, I'm going to, period. It's my human. It's my human. I'll tell it what to do. So here we go. We're going to start telling our human what to do, but it is made up of cells and blood and things like that. There are things that nourish your temple, because it is your temple. It's your temple, you know why? Because it's your I am presence that resides in it. Ah. Thank you, God. Man, they're preaching to me, boy. They're like, do you hear what you're saying? Yeah, that's for you. I'm like, got it. I used to do drugs and drink. I'm going to be 53 here soon. And I didn't think my human would make it that long. This fucking human is great, dude. I should start taking care of her. She might like me a lot better. And then hence she'll take care of me. If I love her, she'll love me back. When you love your body, it loves you back. And I think I'm going to be doing a teaching, it's very possible, on the human and what it means to be human and from my aspect. And I think that's why I started the Light of Love thing, because going back to what dis-ease do you have in your body, well, what do you think about yourself? What do you say about yourself on a daily? You know, I'm an idiot. Which is my command, idiot. Remember, words are spells, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to use their plot, the dark side's plot, and we're going to use it, we're going to turn it against them, per se, and use what they meant for our harm. We're going to transmute it because we're alchemists, because we're light, we're I am, and we're going to transmute it into light. So whatever's sent bad at you, you're going to transmute it, you're going to turn it into good for you. Yeah, because you have a choice. So we're not going to fight the dark anymore. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to keep our vibration high, be in your light, be in your I am presence. We're going to begin to think and speak what we want our lives to be, rather than let the dark tell us how it wants our lives to be by using our own mind against us, by using our human against us. You're not going to use our human against us anymore. We're not going to allow it. See? This human body, I've been in several different ones. I mean, thousands, I'm sure. A lot. Maybe not so many. Maybe just the key ones. No, because I'm not my last incarnate. I was alone too, but I succeeded a lot of shit. I was a dude, but I don't know, man. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to know what that human was about, but he couldn't have been that bad. I used to make jokes that he must have been horrible child molester and shit like that, but I don't know that he was, because they say you get your karma, but, you know, I don't know. Who's to say? Maybe he had to go through a lot of shit too, you know? I mean, he got so far that got me this far. So, thank you to myself. Because that was just a character, it was a role. I chose a body. Don't forget, it's just you're human. You're not your human. It's the character, it's the role you play, and you can level up, right? You can be whatever you want. It's your human. It's your thoughts and what you speak that creates your reality. What's on the outside shows what's on the inside. The more you begin to love yourself, feel, and just know, then that's what your reality will be, you know? So start loving your human today. Remember, there's the I am part of us, and then there's the E part of us, right? The ego, the egoic mind, the E. It's the ego. It's not real, it's the human. So stop being mad at other people's humans and just worry about your own human. And spare your human. Your human is looking to you, the one who knows all, to break free. Show it how to let you out. That's all it wants. I don't know. There you go. The Hitman and the Mark. That's what I should have called it, the Hitman and the Mark. Maybe I'll change it to that. Yeah, that's what we're going to change. We're going to change it to the Hitman and the Mark. That's the title of it now. Peace, peace. Love, love. Harmony, harmony. Got to do it to you twice. No. Peace, love, and hair grease, peeps. And namaste my ass on this path. Namaste my ass on this path. Thank you for joining me. Love donations are always welcome. I would really appreciate it, because when I am blessed, you are blessed. God, you bless me. Have a great day. Evening. Good evening. Anyway, love ya. Peace out.